everyone, welcome to my Kumena Tyrant of Orazca Commander Deck Profile thingy, whatever I want to call them, I don't know yet. This is just a moderately weak version. It can go off, but it's not consistently powerful, but it's pretty alright in ways. Commander Deck, I'd say it's overall probably a 5 out of 10, maybe 5.5, possibly 6 in power. Not over the top, but that's probably just in the nature of trying to run many tribal decks. This isn't so as built to attack people every turn as it is to kind of build up and eventually just go spook. Oddly enough, not really running Lords in here because I don't find them that useful, but I'm going to go over a few of the things that I have in the deck. And I'm going to start with the Merfolk. So other than Kumena, I'm running 26 Merfolks. And they're really interesting ones, a lot of them really spicy. Arctic Merfolk has a kicker cost where you return. Also, I will be running new Zegana in the deck when she comes out. The old Zegana I didn't like, the new one would be really good with this deck. And Simic Ascendancy as well. But I'll need to find room somewhere. Anyway, Arctic Merfolk has a kicker cost that you return a creature you control in the hand. Is actually really handy in the deck. Coilhelm Commander is the only real Lord I'm running. He'll probably come out for Zegana. Closy's Trickster, interesting card when you open it early. Darting Merfolk, I'll come back to this, I'll put this aside. This actually helps you with your infinite combos as long as you have a couple of cards. So I'll go into that later. It's probably the only card that really helps you with an infinite combo. But yeah. And instant speed infinite combo most of the time. Deeper Elite also helps you with the infinite combo, and I'll put that aside. And if you want to see this deck list, it's on Tapped Out. Empress Galena, really cool card, it's so busted. Enclave Cryptologist helps you draw sometimes. Fallow Sage, really fun with Kumena because you can tap it in time to draw a card. Forerunner, just so you can put Mero Commerce on top. Jade Light Ranger, it's alright. Jungleborn Pioneer, really helpful getting that extra Merfolk body onto the board for Kumena, because if you Kumena into this or this into Kumena, you can straight away start tapping and drawing. I like to call this deck tap 3 draw a card, because I say that a lot. Kyora's Follower, really cool artwork. I count Mero Commerce as one of the Merfolk because technically it is. Another really key piece to actually have in this deck, because it untaps your Merfolk at the end phase. End your turn, sorry. Mero Harbinger does what Forerunner does, just kind of searches this out to put this out on top most of the time. Mero Readery, really helpful. I know it's probably one of the few Lords I run in here, but I really have it for its second effect where if you cast a Merfolk spell, you get to untap a permanent, and that's really helpful for mana generation and a few other things. Miss Caller, really cool for a few things. Gets people with their tooth and nail a lot. So yeah. Reef Shaman, I think it's one of the only land filtering ones that I have in here. Just because it can make something an island, or like usually I'd use it on one of my own ones, but yeah, you know, that comes into the combo later. I'll put this aside just to point out why I do that. Rootwater Thief, it's alright. Sappers and Legate, this is a really cool card because you can free cast it pretty early depending on whether you have an island and if your opponent has a mountain, or one of your opponents has a mountain. If those conditions are met, you can just cast this without paying its mana cost. Really cool just to help you get bodies on the board and get Kumena live so you can tap and draw. Seafull Oracle, again really cool with Kumena because you can tap it, make Kumena unblockable, and then you can just get a draw every turn. Sea Singer, it's alright sometimes, but Silvergill Adept, classic, get into draw. Stony Brook Banner, on a lot of Merfolk, this actually makes them cost 2 less because they're Merfolk Wizards a lot of times, especially something like Surge Spanner, so it would cost double blue. Really key part of the deck. Surge Spanner again, this is cool because there's some infinite combos you can pull off with this where you just bounce your opponent's board to their hands. Really hard to do it, but happens sometimes. Thydrodel, I love this card. This is so good in here. I love stealing like Paradox Engines early. and stuff, especially if you're against other Kumena decks, which I know another person in my locals has one, so it's always fun to steal their Paradox Engine and Wistful Selkie. Alright, so I'll just quickly run over the land. I run 5 fetches, with the only one on pure colour being Misty Rainforest, because it's the only pure colour. Also on Scalding Tarn, Flooded Strand, Verdant Catacombs, and Windswept Heath. Again, as long as they have blue and green, you can change them around as much as you like. You have your Maya Curse, Pain, Filter, Check, Shock, Jewel, green Kamigawa, blue Kamigawa, Reflecting Pool, Command Tower, Reliquary Tower, because sometimes you do draw a lot, and Mutavault. Mutavolt's really fun because a lot of the times it will be an additional Merfolk for you at 1 mana cost, or just tapping itself, because you tap itself with the mana, make it a Merfolk, and it gets counters on it for some things. And basic lands. I run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 forests and 3, 6, 9 islands. Beautiful, beautiful, unstable lands. Oh my god, they're so nice. People complained a lot about them, but I always thought they were awesome. Anyway, Mana Ramp. Mana Crypt, Mox of Diamondu, Earthcraft. Unlike with Simut, this is just more for Mana Ramp than anything else. Simut has a combo where I use this to go infinite. This is just Mana Ramp. Kadama's Reach. Harvest Season, again, even more so than in Simut. Kumena being able to tap my Merfolk, even just single ones down for the first ability, just means that this is so viable. And with 14 basic lands in the deck, this is so good. Farseek, Cultivate, Crippleth Right, again, kind of the same thing that Earthcraft does. Soul Ring, a Signet, and a Mox Amber. This is an interesting card, but I actually really like it. It's better in one of my other decks, but I do like it in Kumena, just because its mana cost is so low. If the CMC of the commander is 3 or less, I tend to consider running Mox Amber, just because sometimes it works out pretty well. In late game, usually it's working out. So a few of the packages I got. Simple package, 3 draw spells, Brainstorm, Kindred Discovery, and Rhystic Study. Albeit only one of them is an actual instant draw. Kumena is used so much to draw cards in this deck, from how I play it, that I don't really need a lot of draw spells in here. A few defensive and removal cards, so Rapid Hybridization, Crows and Grip, Polymorphous Jest. This card's so good. Heroic Intervention and Pongify, so you got that. And then also, because we are blue, we do run a few counter spells. Force of Will, Mana Drain, Counter Spell, Cryptic Command, Arcane Denial, and Negate. Now we're going to go to support cards. We've got a few other support cards. Abundance just kind of helps out sometimes when we draw. Just so we go, I don't want to land, or I do want to land. Might come out, I don't know yet. We've got to test it, it's pretty new. Deep Root Waters. I almost wanted to put this with Merfolk, but it's not a Merfolk card, so I didn't. Still absolutely amazing. Hardened Scales, pretty fun. Doesn't always come up, don't always need it, but it's good. Put that after. This, usually I use this for Mystical Tutor, I use it for Noxious Revival, but I can use it for a couple other things. Don't use it too much, don't really need it as much, but I run blue, so I have it in there. I run Sapphire Medallion because my blue to green ratio is pretty high, and that helps a lot, especially when it comes to the Merfolk, so Sapphire Medallion is really helpful. The last 2 ones are Vidalcan Orrery and Leyline of Anticipation. Again, I've been to Japan a few times, so I have a lot of Japanese cards. The instant speed ability in this deck, which also I run Allurant as well, which I'll come up to that. The instant speed helps a lot with actually being able to pull off combos and not have your stuff die immediately as you cast it, which will happen a lot when you play this, because it's not not the most strong commander deck, but it's really fun, and I play it as one of my weaker decks for newer players and not so serious players. So coming into my enabler package, I have Allurin, Cursed Bounty, that's hilarious. Cyclonic Rift, I use this purely as a way to wipe my opponent's board and win. It's not a defensive one, it's purely offensive. Descendant's Path and Herald Horn, just ways to help me get Merfolk. I can't remember how I do this, but one of them I do first because you got a better chance of hitting something. I think I do this first, resolve this first. So if it's not a Merfolk, it goes to the bottom, and then you resolve that. So if it is a Merfolk, at least you get an extra card, as opposed to doing it the other way. But I think one of the ways works better. Intruder Alarm, which is awesome because it kind of is the same thing in the way as Paradox Engine, where you get a creature in, you untap, untap, draw, untap, draw, untap, draw. That's only creatures, this is for everything, and this is on cast. So yeah, again, we'll go into some of the combos later. Quests for renewal, just to help me untap. Also run Sea Hunter to search for Merfolks and Seed Bomb Muse to untap. Now I did actually lie before because there are a few things that help for infinite combos. Not the quest renewal. So there are very few infinite combos in a way. Again, this just helps you for, where am I? Is it in here? No. Is it in, I put it in my mana. A similar thing that I do with Smut actually, but it's not the focus of the deck, but it is a way to infinite combo. This helps you with Earthcraft if you need it, but basically Earthcraft will equip with right, Intruder Alarm, Paradox Engine. Allurin also helps a lot. What did I do with this? I've gone and chucked everything around. Allurin helps a lot as well, and Deeper Elite and Darting Merfolk. So one combo that I have a lot is, I think these three, these four. There are a lot of cards I need for infinite combos, so I don't really count them in, but sometimes it does happen, you'll pull it off. Say if I just have one island, which you can't see, so I have one island, I have Allurin out and Earthcraft out, can flash in Deeper Elite, and then I can flash in Darting Merfolk, tap it down to untap the blue, pay the 1 blue, return to my hand instant speed, and then flash it in again, and get infinite triggers off this. That's one of the ways I win. There's not a lot of win cons in this deck, to be honest. It's just a fun deck that just draws cards. Anyway, yeah, it's not the most like thrilling deck to play, but it's a pretty fun deck, I must admit. When you get into it, people go, "This isn't strong," and I'll just like bring out 50 creatures in one turn, and it's just like have a board wipe. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about this deck, to be honest. It's not like a powerful commander deck. It's just a really fun kind of commander deck to play that lets you play Merfolk Tribal. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed that, and that was me for now. If you have any comments on the deck or any suggestions, put them down below. I haven't built this to be like a powerhouse. It's just like a, hey, I'm drawing cards this turn. Anyway, that's me.